I'm going to present to you the findings of world's largest research on meaningful lives and brands. It was conducted in 16 countries, also in Spain, and more than 24,000 respondents. And I know that you will forget what you hear, but I really hope you will be remembering this. Time has come for a radical shift, paradigm shift in branding, where now brands are primarily focused on fulfilling hedonistic consumer needs. People are waiting for brands that embrace altruistic values. People are waiting for brands that help them to help others. And these so-called meaningful pro-social brands are so welcomed by you, by the public, by consumers, because they fulfill this huge, strong, and big consumer need, the need to live a meaningful life. The last 2 years, I spoke to many marketeers all over the world, and they are just waiting for the starting signal to make their brand more pro-social. And I really hope that my research is going to give them the proof, because it will have a big impact on their business success, yes, but it will also have a tremendous effect on the world. So I'm now on tour to promote pro-social marketing since May 25th, and I was fortunate enough to share my research findings with the United Nations and their 5,300 aligned companies. It was featured on CNN, it was on the Today Show, and now it's finding its way to thousands and thousands of marketeers all over the world. And it can find its way to you as well, because you can download it for free from letsheal.org. I have another goal. I don't want to reach out to as many marketeers as possible. Yes, of course, that's what I want. But I try to quantify what I really want. And thinking about that, I want to realize a shift in budgets of 1% of the total annual ad spending. And now I know that might not sound too ambitious to you. What is this? What is this for a goal? A 1% budget shift. But if you know that the annual ad spending is 450 billion a year, that's quite a force. 450 billion, it's 450 mil millones dólares on advertising each year. And just imagine, from a financial perspective, what you can do. We only need 6 billion to get rid of something as stupid as malaria. We only need, rumors are, need 11 billion to stop starvation for 1 year. And now this is not only just a nice idea of an ad guy, but it's based on a very solid research. It was conducted in close cooperation with Columbia University, Professor Dirk Salomons. And I'm now here to share the proof with you. Probably the first question you have is, how important is it then to live a meaningful life? When I started this research, I thought, oh yeah, I want a meaningful life, because I sort of gained a status of financial independence, but it has nothing to do with your social status or your socioeconomic status. It's so fundamental. In Spain, it's even 87% that indicate that they want a meaningful life, that they think it's very important. You could also say Maslow was wrong. We all know Maslow, right? With his famous pyramid, his famous hierarchy on needs, where in the lowest rung we have food and shelter, and somewhere in the top we have self-actualization. I think the fundamental need is best described by the famous psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. He was cast away into several concentration camps and extermination camps during World War II, and he wrote a brilliant book about how people will and have to deal with the meaning in their lives. And he saw this. People who gave up life died less from a lack of medicine and food than from a lack of something to live for. So the next question, of course, was, do we have something to live for? And what follows now is a very interesting figure. And as I said before, I'm here to give the starting signal to as many marketeers as possible. So if you want to Twitter the results in Spain, we can make this a trending topic within 10 minutes if we want. Please use the hashtag Let's Heal. And we're now going to perhaps the most interesting figure of the research. Only 16% is not searching for meaning. Only 60%. And that's a figure that struck me, you know, because not having a meaning in life can lead to feelings of depression and even worse. So probably the question you have now is, okay, we're talking about meaningful lives, but what is the meaning of life then? Let's take a look. You can ask a supercomputer, what is the meaning of life? And they did this in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But I asked 24,000 people, what is the meaning of life?
An answer for you? Yes, but you're not going to like it.
So maybe you take a few seconds to think about, what do you think is the meaning of your life?
The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42.
So what do you think is the meaning of life? We don't have the time to browse all categories, but let me share this with you. The most solid factor, the most solid interpretation of what gives meaning to lives is helping others. I think it's right. In Spain it's the same, right? Yeah, I know. To help others, 74%. And is there a why behind this all? Yes, it's in our nature to help others. It's in our nature. When you're doing good, a hormone is being released. It's called oxytocin, and it's the same hormone that is being released when having an orgasm. Also, the Neanderthals have this big image problem. I learned at school that they weren't too kind to their elder people and to people who were ill, but very recent research showed that Neanderthals have this deep-seated sense of compassion. And prosocial behavior is also stimulated via, for example, religions. From Islam to Christianity, from Judaism to Buddhism, every religion is a strong promoter of prosocial behavior. Next to, of course, schools and friends and family. But it's also a very popular topic in popular music. Around 10 to 50% of the popular music is basically promoting prosocial behavior. Think, for example, the very recent mega hit from John Legend and the Roots, Wake Up. Good. Now you probably are thinking, okay, I know what the meaning of life is now. We are searching for more meaning. We want to help others. Do we want to do more for others? Yes. 61% in Spain, 59% in general, say they want to do more for others. But they lack time, they lack energy, they lack inspiration, and they lack money, of course. And this is where brands can fulfill a huge role. And you know, this thing of helping and the willing of helping others has become far more important over the last 3 years. And this is probably the positive side effect of the financial crisis. You know, for many, capitalism and neoliberalism have encouraged people to seek money as the primary goal in life. But we all know now that, you know, there's more than money alone. So what do we care about? And this is, again, very universal. We care about others' people's health. We care about the environment. And, of course, we care about children's rights. One exception that struck me, in China, the environment is on #1. So, now we know this, I think it's time to switch to the brands. Brands are allowed to you know, help us to help other people. And if they do so, they will be very successful. Prosocial brands are preferred over ordinary brands by 64%. And when certain preconditions are met, this percentage can go up. But please remember, this is not a marketing trick. We're talking about real lives here. So what I did, I asked the 24,000 people in the research, what do you think are good and bad examples of pro-social brands? And this resulted in 24,000 warnings I'd like to share with you now. Although we don't have that time, so I categorize them to a few categories of pro-social brands, and I will do it right now with you. And I got some help from Spain, from the real guru Prosocial. You probably know him. It's Moses Maimonides, and he lived in Cordoba in the 12th century, and then he moved to Egypt and a few other countries. And the great thing is, he was a great philosopher, a doctor, a rabbi, but he gave us our ethics, our moral ethics, and he influenced both Western world and the Arabic world. And his view on ethics still holds value today. So I used his golden ladder of charity to categorize the different types of brands. And please, pro-social brands are of course responsible, but the whole thing that is going on now has nothing to do with my promotion on pro-social marketing, because all respondents said businesses should be responsible. When you're not responsible, you're out of business. When you're not a responsible business, people compared those businesses with criminals. And I think they are right. But I'm here to talk about businesses that go a step further than just act responsible. These businesses can create a huge marketing and creative force, and of course a financial force, to make this world actually a better place. And there are various examples. The oldest one is the donating pro-social brands. Every year, billions and billions are donated to good causes, and that's a good thing. But people say, and Maimonides said it as well, don't brag about it in advertising. Don't brag about that you gave, I don't know, $1 million to a good cause. No, Maimonides said, make your contribution this significant that people will publicize it. The other category I like are the pro-social service brands. And these brands actually make a service accessible to more than the target group alone. Here you see an example of Toyota in rural Africa, and here they place traffic signs because the government, of course, cannot pay for it. And by doing this, they reduce road casualties. And here the warning from the 24,000 respondents was, and I think they are right, we advertising guys and marketing professionals have this huge talent to, make things look bigger than life. But they all say, please focus on making the service accessible to as many people as possible, and not just one PR stunt and make it appear very big in the media, Now I think it's time to move on to a far more interesting category, the meaningful pro-social brands. And here the target group is actually invited to participate with the brand to solve and to tackle several societal problems. And I'd like to show a very good example now. It's the Pampers example. It's a diapers brand. I guess it's called Dodos or Dotos here in Spain. I don't know whether they run the campaign here, but it's maybe you recognize it. Well, let's take a look, and then I will explain why the public thinks this is a great example.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Together, we can help eliminate newborn tetanus. One pack equals one vaccine.
That's quite a brilliant campaign. A few years ago, they set this target, a very big and audacious goal. We want to ban newborn tetanus by the year 2013. And they actually are going to achieve this. Millions and millions of vaccinations are donated to UNICEF. And why this is such a good example? They promote the cause in advertising. They create a huge buzz around the cause. They make their contribution significant. They run this campaign for many years. And you know, they now even go a step further, where they added a Send Your Kisses part to this campaign, where mothers here can send their moral support to women who need it, which is exactly what we're willing, you know. We are waiting for brands that facilitate a meaningful life, and we want to help other people, and this campaign facilitates that we can help in a very simple way, you can call it a selectivism way, to help other people. But again here, I'm only here to talk the good talk, but UN said, well, if you're talking to many people, please share our warning with them as well, and I will. There aren't too many examples of pro-social brands yet, and I think that because of the success, it's quite easy to become a pro-social brand just by making a connection with a good cause. But that's only a trick. That's only a trick. Because people are already telling that they cannot tell when they're being misled. But they do have this feeling that they sometimes are being misled. So if you want to prevent feelings of mistrust, distrust of your brand, please leverage the core of your business in the pro-social activity you're going to deploy. I think this is very important. And I think we're now at the end of the presentation. I only have 2 minutes left, so that's good, that's good. And that brings me to you. If you are an ad guy, if you are a marketing professional, maybe you are a CEO, or maybe you're just a student and focusing on a career in businesses, I would say, please forget all the typical ad awards. Please forget all the typical marketing awards. Please focus on something bigger. Focus on, for instance, the Nobel Peace Prize. And I checked with the organization, you're allowed to win a Nobel Prize as a brand. Never happened, but you're allowed. And I think you will not only make your business grow, but you will also make millions and millions of people very, very happy. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak here, and please download the book and the free research on letsheal.org and spread it among and in your network, and please Twitter the results via Let's Heal. And you know, I'd like to conclude with the simple remark the UN made: the world needs you. And I thank you very much for having me here. Bye. If you want, please find me in the crowd and let's bounce some ideas. Thank you.